Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Ground Up. We're your hosts, Nay and Kazi. And today we wanted to talk to you guys about if you were to lose all of your clientele today, what are some of the things that you would do to build your clientele up and to get back to where you are now, or if not further? Do you want to start that off?
Yeah, so what I would say, first thing I would do is pick my target audience, right? Write it out. Who am I trying to target? Because depending on who that specific individual is, will determine which platform I would choose to put a lot of pressure on. For example, Facebook is for more like an older generation, right? So I would say the age group on Facebook is from your late 20s to like and older and like 40 or 50s. Instagram is more catered to mid 20s and the millennials. TikTok is a younger generation from 16 to 25 ish. All right, so really depending on who you're trying to attract will determine which platform you want to really put a lot of pressure on. So that's first, picking that target audience, right? And then really defining who they are. What are the likes? What are the dislikes? Where are they congregating? Which, I guess, describe what their beliefs are, some stuff that they like. And then once you're done with that, that will give you an idea on what type of content to create for those individuals, right? Because all the content that you create needs to be catered to this specific ideal client target audience target clientele that you are going for, if that makes sense. That makes sense? I did feel like I was rambling.
Target clientele that you're
Or target audience or ideal client.
Yeah.
Like who is, that's the question to ask, is who is this ideal client that you want to attract, that you want sitting in your chair? Mm-hmm. And then once you write all that out, again, your content needs to be catered to this one individual, because that right there is a lot of people. For example, right now I post on family, faith, and entrepreneurship. And I tend to mix all three together with my content creation. And I don't just post tattoos, because what I would say is if they don't know you, then they won't flow with you. So you posting just your work, it kind of puts you in that pool of other individuals that do what you do, and you get lost in that. But your individuality, your uniqueness is something that you need to portray on your content, on your wall, so that they can know you on a personal level, because those are connecting points. Because there's this rule or this principle talking about somebody needs to spend at least 7 hours watching your content, for at least 7 hours for them to feel like they know, like, or trust you. Mm-hmm. Right? So you pushing out content will give them that, you pushing out content will allow that individual, your ideal clients, to find you and want to be able to follow you. And if they spend enough time with you, then eventually they'll book. Mm-hmm. So being super consistent with content creation, posting daily, right? Post twice if you can. Not overthinking it. Just, again, you want to make sure that you're just posting, and being prolific. Being prolific meaning having a lot of content, but then connecting all the different platforms to where when you post on one is linked everywhere else, like Facebook, Threads, TikTok, LinkedIn. So when you post on, say my platform is Instagram, it's connected to all of those so that they can find me. Something I heard from Myron Golden is, would you believe that there's somebody in your hometown that wants to buy into your services, but they just don't know you exist? Mm-hmm. So it's not a matter of finding traffic, because traffic already exists. It's a matter of you making yourself more findable for them to know you're here.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a responsibility to be super consistent with marketing ourselves on social media, utilizing ads. And if you want to kick it old school, print out some flyers and drop it off at close by locations. I've dropped my flyer off at this liquor store down the street. And I remember a lot of people came in getting full sleeves and chest pieces, like big pieces, because they seen that, right? And we were here for 4 years. And this guy was like talking about he lived in Modesto all his life. He didn't know we were here, mm-hmm. right? And he lives right down the street. Mm-hmm. So you might think a lot of people in your town know you, but I would submit that there's a lot of them that don't, right? So it's a matter of you just exposing yourself and making yourself more findable for your ideal clients to want to book with you. And understand, like, when, and I guess having this understanding of the content you create is the seed, and you being consistent with creating content, it's you cultivating that seed, and eventually they would want to book with you. But you have to be super intentional with your content creation. You have to be super intentional with, content creation,
Yeah.
right? And super intentional with your stories, right? And your stories is like your Snapchat. It's like your reality show. So everything that you do throughout the day is posting. That's why you'll see me post on my family, see me posting like a little game here and there. You might see me posting myself at the gym, right? It's so that they can feel like they're rolling with me, right? And it's funny because I had clientele come in before, and they're talking about they feel like they know me because of my posts. They're talking about my babies, talking about my faith, and I guess it's one of those, like when they sit in your chair, it's not awkward because we can start talking about things that they've seen on my page, and those are connecting points. Maybe it was something that resonated with them, or maybe they have kids and they want to talk to me about my kids. So it's being super intentional how you post to let the people know you, because the last thing I would say is if they don't know you, they're not going to want to flow with you. So
you're saying,
step
to
recap. Step one
Target
is
audience.
target audience. Figure out who your ideal client is. Step two, pick a dominant platform on the age group that you're trying to reach. Okay, the age group that you're trying to reach, and then did the power just go up?
Did it? I just seen a blink.
Yeah. So step one is your ideal client, who that is, describe it, the age group, the likes and dislikes. Step two, pick your dominant platform on where you want to create your content. And I would even say connect all the different platforms to that dominant platform so that when you post on one, it goes across the board and everything else just like a repeat. Step three, your content creation needs to be catered to the ideal client. Step four, make sure that your story is always lit, right? Because you have to stay on people's radar. And you connect all of that, then you'll have clientele coming through the door, right? And I can even take it a step further. Once, say, one person comes in based off of that, if I implemented those four, one person comes in, having intentional conversations with this individual will help build off of that one.
Yeah.
Because just the other day, I had a client come in, right, and he had a +1. And his +1, my thought process is, I got to have this full book with me also. You know what I mean? So like not being super weird with it and super obvious, but at the end of the day, it's a business, so I got to run it accordingly. And I was having conversations with the individual. Well, let's first start with the guy that came in to get tattooed, creating an experience for this client, making sure I'm hosting them, making sure showing them hospitality, make sure they feel comfortable, right? The music's not too loud. The chair is comfortable, like freaking the cleanliness of the shop, so they walk in, they don't feel like they're gonna catch something. Right, the cleanliness of the shop is real key, making your clients feel comfortable. The conversations I'm having, getting to know my people. So they call it building a rapport. And then, just finding this common ground with my client. And then when his +1 was here, I was talking with them too about the tattoo and trying to build a rapport with them also. It's just like I give my apprentice an example is like when you take somebody out on a date, right? Say a male is taking out a female and they go on a date, but then the female brings her best friend, right? So my responsibility, my job when I take out this female is to make sure her best friend likes me, because as soon as that date is over, they're going to start talking.
Yeah.
Right. So like making sure they feel comfortable where they would want to come back.
Yeah.
So I kind of treat it like that. Like whenever they bring a +1, I get hyped up because even if they bring an entourage, some people they like they don't like no +1s at all. Or some people just like 1 or 2. Like I remember those like 4, and I'll get seats for everybody. We chatting it up, having a good time. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I want to make sure that they all are vibing with me.
Yeah.
And 2, I get to know everybody on a personal level, because you got to look at it like all of those are like roots, right? And the roots they grow. And if I were to cultivate this environment to where they all feel comfortable, I know that the roots are starting to sprout. And they either got kids, they got friends that are 18, they got +1s, like their girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. So like I'm asking all these questions to know them, but they don't even know. Like I'm asking because I want to be the family's tattoo artist. Right. So being super intentional with the conversations, not being super obvious, but I mean, I do it because I really do care about my people and I want them to feel comfortable. And I would say building clientele like that, it's a byproduct of you just killing it with the experience, you killing it with how you run business, right? And I actually care. I care about the experience that they have when they're in my chair, and I care about the way the tattoo comes out, right? Making sure that they feel like I served them to the top tier, top quality type of experience and work, right? And then the money just comes. But as far as like the clientele building, if you were to implement that and be super intentional to be learn how to talk and learn how to, I guess, build trust with your people that not only come into your chair or on social media, but in person, I think you'll be all right.
That was a long answer. Okay, so target. Well, say I'm not a tattoo artist. I do lash extensions, or I'm in the beauty industry. Would those same principles apply to what I do?
For sure. Yeah.
Right? Well, there was something else you said that related to tattoos.
You treat them like they're the you're on a date.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
you're on a date with somebody, right? For example, and they bring their best friend, and you want to make sure not only pretend like you're the dude. Not only is she having a good time, but then her best friend's having a good time. You ever seen what's that movie? Hitch, Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
So kind of like that. Remember? You remember when he went out on a date with a girl, and then she brought her best friend, and it was actually some dude. He thought it was gonna be a girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was making sure the dude felt hella comfortable. I think the dude was gay.
Yeah.
And he made sure that he felt hella comfortable. He was being all like flamboyant, whatever. Yeah. And his friend was like, "I think I like him." And then kind of like it was like brownie points in her eyes because he liked him.
Yeah.
So kind of like the same concept. Make sure that they feel comfortable to where they know, and you get to let them know you on a personal level, find connecting points, and then have a good time. It's creating an experience for both of them.
Yeah. What's it called? I'm trying to get back in because as you were talking, I was just thinking about the storm. Like, what the heck is it raining?
Wow. So you're not even listening.
I am listening to what you're saying, but I'm saying the storm is crazy right now. I can hear the thunderstorm, and the power went out for a quick second, but
the disrespect is real today.
Sorry. Okay. But no, I mean, okay, so if I was to start from ground zero, like no clients at all, I mean, I guess the same as you, I would find out who my target audience is, who am I trying to reach. But I feel like because I'm in the beauty industry, I would focus more on TikTok, mainly because Facebook, like you said, is for the older crowd, and that's not necessarily my target audience. Not a lot of older people like lash extensions. So I know my target audience, they're more so on TikTok. So the first thing that I would do is I would create a business page on TikTok just for lash extensions. And when I'm on TikTok, I would make sure that my bio, for one, it's easily searchable. Okay, so I'm going to have my city, Modesto, my service, lash extensions, and then my name, Nay, so that people know who is behind this page, right? So I would do that first, create a business page, and make sure that the content that I am putting out, that, you said, it's created around who my target audience is and who I'm trying to reach. All of those things in mind. And then I would make sure that I'm also using SEOs. You know what SEOs are?
I've heard it before.
Search engine optimization, right?
Oh, you get into the nitty gritty of things. Okay.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I mean, because before I knew about that, so if you ever post content, right, on your page, and you see your user low, or at the top search bar, it says find related content. The reason it says that is because Instagram's not recognizing what content you're putting out. So if Instagram and TikTok isn't recognizing your content, it's not going to push your content to who you're trying to target, right? So I would say master your SEO. Learn how to edit your video in a way that TikTok and Instagram is going to recognize what content you're putting. So, for instance, since I do lash extensions, I make sure that I have the title lash extensions in my video. I make sure that whatever style I'm doing, volume lash extension, natural lash extensions, put these titles in your in the beginning of your video, Instagram is going to start pushing your content out. So yeah, master your search engine optimization. Make sure that the titles are in your videos so that your content is being pushed to who you're trying to reach. Sorry. So that would be 1. Actually, that was 2. Sorry. And then 3, I would say make your booking site easy to understand. Easy to understand, like, where am I supposed to go? How much is your pricing? What type of policies you have? Don't be making no crazy out-of-pocket policies. I've seen some service providers have some out-of-pocket, like, there's a fee for everything. There's a fee. There's a late fee, which I get it. So you respect my time. I respect yours. But, like, bless you. But, like, no leniency at all. Like, 5 minutes. You got to prepare for, like 5 to 10 minutes. People being late, traffic, things come up, whatever. But there's, like, I've seen some out-of-pocket, like, business people who are beauty businesses with crazy, like, policies. So I would say make your policies reasonable. Be a little understanding. Prepare for circumstances that sometimes are out of our control. And you should be able to build clientele with just those little things. All those things make a difference. And then be consistent. That's another thing. Be consistent. Don't just post like one video a month. I would say post at least like 3 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week. Just so that you're staying in people's view, you're staying on their news feed, and that they don't forget about you.
Or, Dad used to say, "Out of sight, out of mind." That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, which is true. Like, because if I'm seeing somebody on my news feed all the time, I'm gonna start expecting to see you every day. I'm gonna start expecting.
The goal
content.
is to, for lack of better ways of saying it, the goal is to make people addicted to your content. Mm-hmm. Right, like like what you said, they're expecting to see your stuff pop up because 1, they like your content, right, and 2, you're always on.
Yeah.
You know? So like sometimes people are expecting you, and when you're only on there once in a while, the way the algorithm works is they're not going to put you on the top of people's feed. So you have to be relatable to your people that's watching. Right, so you got to know your audience and create content accordingly for those type of individuals, so that they will always want to watch your stuff. Yeah.
So exactly, like I would stay consistent and then come up with a game plan. Like for me, like I know sometimes it gets busy, our everyday life, it gets busy. So I try to plan my content ahead as best as I can. I don't accomplish this all the time, but it helps a lot when you have a content posting schedule. Like for me, like I write out, ideally I would want to post every day, but realistically I only post like 3 to 4 times a week. And I write out things that are doable, but also it's content that my viewers want to see, that my target audience wants to see. I'm not just posting things just to post. Because if that's the case, I would rather not post anything. Because I feel like every content that we put out should be of value and should be something that represents your brand. You don't want to become somebody known as just posting half-assed content that isn't going to reach who you're trying to reach. Because if I'm like somebody that's a potential client and somebody who's just all the time, yes, this person's posting all the day, but it's not good quality content.
The way I heard it was, the way you do one thing is how you do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
right?
that's
it's all connected. It's a matter of like, are you willing to go the extra mile with your content creation, right? And being consistent is really key in this game, especially when you're trying to build clientele.
Yeah,
because that shows people if you're actually serious about what you're doing.
Yeah, and you can tell. Like I can tell when somebody just like put words on a video, on a random video, and added a sound and posted it, versus somebody who actually took their time, put time and effort into the content that they're pushing. Because that's the type of content I love watching. Like I would sit there. I don't care if the video is like a 3-minute vlog. If it's edited like down to the T, down to the type of text, like it matches everything, I'm gonna sit there. And yes, the aesthetics is I'm big on that too. Like everything has to go together and it just blends and it makes you want to watch the whole thing. So yeah, I would say be consistent, but also be intentional and post quality content. But
that's good. Oh no, what you said about the booking for sure. It's simplify it. I like this acronym KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid. Because I would say if the client is confused, if they feel like they're overwhelmed, they're gonna keep scrolling. They're gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I said confused client is a lost client.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what about like, okay, because I know when I first started booking people, right, I used to go through DMs too. And when people would used to DM me, I would basically, I already knew all the questions they were coming to ask me, right? So I had this whole thing typed out because I was lazy at typing out every single thing. So I had it typed out in my notes, right? And I would just copy and paste it. What would you say, like, how do you go about like handling your DMs? Like, would you post, like, would you just copy and paste like that paragraph? And
there's a thing in on Instagram where it's save responses.
Oh yeah.
So if you type in a keyword, because I mean, the clients, they ask the same questions just in different ways, right? And so I would respond, and then sometimes I'll just have those keywords to have those save responses go up on there, and then I'll just kind of like switch up some wording. I mean, off the top, I'm gonna switch the date. I'm gonna switch, like, depending on who I'm talking to, if I'm gonna put my slang in there or not. You know, keeping it professional all the time. But again, depending on who I'm talking to, if they come out the gate and start talking slang, off top, I'm gonna throw my slang in there.
Yeah.
You know, but for sure, it's having those saved response comes in handy because you don't have to keep typing the same thing over and over and over. Right. Some people do use like booking apps like yourself, but me, I like talking with my people. You know, I feel like it kind of humanizes my page.
Yeah.
In a sense, and I feel like they can connect with that.
Yeah.
But everybody's different, you know, different strokes for different folks. I like talk. Some people I know, they'll even call their clients. They don't go through the DMs. They'll get the number and then they'll catch a feel for the clients off of the phone. And based on that conversation they have, will determine if they want to put them on the books or not. But I would say in the beginning stages, if you're starting from zero, you can't be choosy like that. You can't be picky. You kind of get what you get based on the content that you're creating, right? And you kind of work with what you got.
Yeah. I
feel like if you're being picky in the beginning, you're kind of you're limiting yourself in a sense, because say that one person that your content attracts comes in and you ain't really vibing with this person, but if you kill it and like get your reps in and you kill it with experience and all of that, maybe they know somebody that will, that they can connect you with, and they will be your ideal client. They'll fit into that criteria.
Yeah. So in the beginning, right? Because in the beginning, you're not going to have clients, because we're talking about like people who are just starting out, who have really like nobody as a client. So in the beginning, like you said, you can't be choosy, and you kind of are going to start booking whoever comes to you first. But even if it's not that, even if you don't have like somebody that's going to book right away, I would say like what I did, I used to lash like everybody, every female, every sister, all my sisters.
That part, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, I used to lash all my sisters. I used to lash because I didn't have any clientele yet. So the main thing that I tried to focus on was building my experience, one, and then also building my portfolio. And you're not going to be great at first, but yeah, it's building your portfolio first, and then you can focus on reaching the people that you're trying to reach. So yeah, so what I would do was I would hit up all my cousins, text my sisters, ask them like, hey, who wants free lashes? And in the beginning, I didn't mind doing it free because I was just trying to get my reps in. I was trying to.
That's where we're not the same, because I was charging you guys.
Yeah, I know. No, you did mine for free. You did my.
Did I?
You did my bird tattoo for free. Remember?
Oh, that was like when I first started, but soon after,
I know. Well,
I was charging like at least $50 to $100.
No, we're talking about ground zero. Just started. You used to do these. You guys want to see this lion tattoo?
Just keep it under wraps.
Yeah, no. You used to do my tattoos for free. Remember in the garage?
My memory's not serving me right.
No, because I remember. I can tell you exactly how you said. Well, so you guys want to get a picture tattoo? Yeah, just show me a picture and I'll get it. Because remember, you had never done a picture tattoo yet. So that's when you did the bird one.
Picture tattoo. Yeah, I don't remember saying that, because I'll say black and gray or.
No, you wanted to do a picture, like a object, because you up until that point you had only done text.
I was like, you picture it, I could tattoo it.
But yeah, no. So yeah, in the beginning, I was just taking in whoever came to me or who I could get in my chair, because since I was just trying to build my reps up, I was hella slow. It used to take me a lot longer to do what I do now because I was still new to the game. And if you don't have a big family, I would say throw the ad out there on your Instagram story. Make a post saying like, "Hey, I'm looking for models."
Yep.
Put it on TikTok, and trust me, people love free stuff. They'll come running to you if you say free.
Yeah, gotta retract what I said for sure. If you don't have nobody to come in, you ain't building attracting no clientele just yet. Sometimes, if not all the time, people are looking for two things when they go onto your page and they want to book with somebody. They're looking for evidence of results, right? So if you want to book tattoos, small or big, you have to have some type of work, because people ask, okay, have you done this before? Right? And they want to see that you've actually done it. They'll critique it, and based on what they see will determine if they want to actually follow through with it. Right? So if you don't have nobody to do it again, try to throw out a flyer, or not try, but throw out a flyer or something if you don't have family, and then get some people in so that you can get those reps in. Then you have evidence of results after you're done with the tattoo.
You have to take those little sacrifices, and it'll pay off in the end, because not only are you getting your reps in, you're also building your portfolio. Now you have pictures to show what you can do. And now you, even if it's not great, now you know what you need to work on the next time. And now you can work on improving and fine tuning what you need to in the next time you do that set.
So we're going to shift it a little bit, and we're going to talk about what's the problem that entrepreneurs run into, especially if they're starting from ground zero. The problem, and something that I've noticed, is they're so addicted to getting paid because of regular 9-to-5s that they don't really understand that it's not guaranteed you're going to get paid in the beginning. What you said, you're not going to be that great in the beginning, right? So you have to be okay with not being that great, and understand that you have to, I guess, I don't like saying it because people prefer the word, but you have to suck in the beginning you have to get those reps and understand that you're going to suck. But if you suck long enough, no Diddy, you will eventually get better over time, and you'll be great. I heard a quote that said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Right. So, that part right there kind of threw me off, because I don't really use that word, but
yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I hear what you're saying, but I think one of the main things, like you said, people get into entrepreneurship thinking that it's just going to be fast money like this. And I would say if you jump into anything and your main goal is just to make money quickly,
you're not going to last.
You're not going to last. You're going to be the people who fall off. Those majority of the people who started businesses during quarantine fell off. Why? Because these are the people who literally were just money hungry and just saw it as an opportunity. These people are making
money grab time.
Yeah. Oh, these people are making money. And then what happened? They didn't even last a year. Probably they fell off. A lot of those businesses that started during quarantine are no longer, because those are the type of people that got into the entrepreneurship. Did I just mess up that word? That got into entrepreneurship with the wrong intentions. And bro, hey, I'm off no sleep right now. Leave me alone. But yeah, I would say, what was I saying? When you're getting into entrepreneurship, do it because it's something that you're actually passionate about, and not just money hungry trying to make a quick dollar. Because I promise you're gonna burn yourself out. You're not passionate about, because people that are passionate, they're going to do the things that they need to do to better themselves, because it's something that they desire to do, not something that they feel like they have to do to keep up and make money.
I like what Myron Golden says. He says, care more about the people than you do with the money, because the money is a byproduct of you killing it within the services that you provide. And we're in the service business. Yeah. Right. So if you care, don't use the people to get to the money. Use the money to get to the people.
Mic drop.
I didn't come up with that. That was Myron Golden. But but for sure, I would agree to that 100%. If you take care of your people and you actually care about your clients, they will take care of you. Right?
Yeah. No, people can feel your energy.
For sure.
I've been to people who I can just tell as soon as I sit in their chair that they're just here for the money. And I don't want to be serviced by people who are just trying to fit hella people into their schedule just so that they can make hella money that day. But because people who operate like that, you're not going to get returning clients. Yeah, you might fool them into getting into your seat or into your chair, but they're not going to return back. And then, good news travels fast, but bad news travels faster.
Yeah.
So then you're going to start to build a reputation as, yeah, that girl, she's a catfish. Like, she might look like she does good work online, but let me tell you, I've actually been serviced by this girl. She's terrible. Like, her service is terrible. She doesn't even speak to me. Her place is hella dirty. So it's just like, have good character as when you're running the business and treat your clients how you would want to be treated.
That part. I seen this quote the other day. I've seen it a while ago, actually. It said, entrepreneurship is spiritual because faith is required faith is required when pursuing entrepreneurship, right? And if you were to break it down, it's because when you're working a regular 9 to 5, you show up, you clock in, you clock out. It's guaranteed you're going to get paid after 2 weeks, right? But when entrepreneurship, you step into that space, it's not guaranteed. You can show up to the shop, but if nobody comes to get tattooed or nobody comes for your eyelashes, it's not guaranteed. You can sit here for 8 hours. You ain't going to get paid if you don't have that clientele coming through the door. So faith is required, and you have to have faith in your abilities than you do in your limitations. And that's the thing with the Bible talks about a double-minded person receives nothing from the Lord. And what I see with a lot of new entrepreneurs is they have faith, but then they also have doubts. And those two, they don't run together. And I would say your doubts will supersede your faith. So it's a matter of believing that you can actually accomplish what you put your mind to in this space and not creating an option B, not having something tucked in the back pocket and thinking like, okay, if this don't work out, I have this, I have that. Yeah. And because if you have, that's the difference. And I believe that's what separates the ones that actually survive in this space, in this game, that last the longest compared to the ones that fall off. Yeah. It's they commit, they follow through, and it doesn't matter if they get paid or not. They're so passionate about it that they stick to it. They don't quit. And that's and Nipsey's the one that says that's the factor, or however he said it on his song. That's what separates him from everybody else is he actually endured the emotions that came with it. He persevered through all the tough times, the dark, not getting paid, right? And he persevered through all of that to where he finally made it. Yeah. And that's how it is in any space that you step into. If you're brand new, you have to persevere through the dark times where nobody knows you to develop your skill set, to get better. And then when it's your time to shine, it's like they can't help but notice you. Yeah. Yeah, and it's all about like staying down till you get to where you're trying to get, right? Because I think that when people first get into entrepreneurship, they think it's just going to be a straight uphill, like, not battle, but what is the word I'm looking for? Like, it's just going to, you're going to start here and you're going to go there. But it's actually like ups and downs, it's not just going to be a straight shot to the top. It's going to be a lot of valleys that you got to go through. And sometimes you'll be doing good 1 month and 1 month it'll be down here again. And sometimes when new entrepreneurs go through those seasons where it's not doing as well as it did before, they take that as a sign like, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But in actuality, like a lot of entrepreneurs go through that. It's not always going to be a good season. Sometimes you go through those seasons, but it's about how you go about, handling business in that time. Because just because it's a slow season doesn't mean that we slow down on posting. Doesn't mean that you slow down on, building your skills. And you could always improve on your skills, or you could always be making posts and be consistently posting. And there's other things that you can focus on in these slow seasons. But I feel like that's a whole nother conversation on its own. But yeah, it's about, like when you're an entrepreneur, it does take a lot of faith, because I can speak from experience where I've gone through those seasons of it, of having to trust that it would get better. And I didn't stop showing up for my business. I didn't stop doing what I knew that I had to do, which was creating content, because at the end of the day, I know that this is something that I am passionate about. I love connecting with people. I love being able to, make people feel good after they leave my chair. And I know that I gave them a good service because I'm not half-assing anything that I do. It's something that I'm passionate about. And yeah, that's part of being an entrepreneur and doing something that you're passionate about and not just being money hungry. Yeah, something that I noticed also, and I was talking to this upcoming entrepreneur. He was one of my clients, and he was talking about his fears because he works a regular job, but his heart is his business, his side hustle, right? And he said, my fear is if I were to jump into it, right, it's a big risk. And I said, it's always a risk. You know what I mean? The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
Yeah.
And he said his fear is if I were to step into it full time, what if it doesn't work out? What if I lose out on this and that? And like, it was just negative statements, right? Yeah. And I told him that is a mindset. That's a negative mindset. And 2 and 3, actually, I said, whenever you're starting anything, you don't want to ask questions like that because you will come up with answers that you don't want to hear. And I consider those to be withdrawal statements. Right. So whenever you're stepping into something new, you always want to shift it from thinking negative to thinking positive. Like, how dope is this going to be when I do accomplish this? How much closer am I going to be to my goals of where I really want to be when I'm done with this project that I'm working on? Because that right there, you could pull energy from that. Because if you think of how he was thinking and you go from a fear standpoint, it actually sucks energy out of you and you deal with anxiety. Yeah. And what people tend to deal with, it paralyzes them when they put energy into that. They start worrying about all these different things to where you get stuck in the same predicament that you've always been in. And you're going to be resentful. You're going to be regretful. And you're like, man, I should have, I could have, I would have.
Yeah.
And it puts you in that state. Is like, we talked about it before we even started recording, is on a different topic, but I would say there's a correlation to pick your hard. Because it's hard regardless. Any route you choose is going to be hard. Yeah. You stay where you're at, it's going to be hard because you're always in the back of your mind, what if I would have done that? What if I would have done, and that's hard to deal with when we're dealing with the regret. And when you step into that space, it's going to be hard because you're unfamiliar with it. You got to learn new things, right? Yeah. It requires more mental bandwidth for you to understand that space. It feels hard, but you're unfamiliar with it until it becomes part of your daily routine. It becomes part of who you are, and then you're just flowing. Yeah.
I mean, entrepreneurship. Yeah, it is scary at first. It is going to be scary, especially, how we were talking about how it requires faith to be a full-time entrepreneur, especially because you're not guaranteed a check. But I would say as long as you're, it's something that you're passionate about, and then you plan ahead with for those slow seasons, have a savings and all these things before you full on jump into entrepreneurship. I think that's what helped me, when I left my 9-to-5 is I had a bit of cushion. Yeah, I had a cushion there so that I knew that, okay, well, I know that I was building clientele quickly when I first started, but I still wanted to make sure, just because, you never know, right? Even with a job, though, you never know, if the company's going to do well this year or if they're going to go down, because sometimes companies go down without notice and everybody's laid off. So it's just planning ahead in events of that. Same thing with entrepreneurship. You have to make sure that you have that cushion. So I would say that, if you're planning on leaving your 9-to-5 and getting into entrepreneur full time, have that cushion so that even when there are slow seasons, that you still have money to fall back on. And then when it is slow, I would say to focus on your marketing. Honestly, everything's all about marketing. I'm in a few Facebook groups about with just lash techs, right? And I don't really be in there, but I do once in a while go on there. So I was on there the other day, and I seen, surprisingly, it was a lot of negative stuff talking about how people are hella slow, how some people only have 3 clients, 9 clients, whatever. And one girl even said she's thinking about quitting, right? And a lot of the comments under these are saying oh yeah, it's the market, it's too saturated, it's too this, it's too that. And what I say to that is, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that just because the market is saturated, that just because the inflation is bad, I don't believe that it would affect business. I don't believe in basing my business off inflation, because people will still spend money on what they want to, right? Because you see people, even though inflation is bad, how many times do I see people buy a Gucci bag? How many times do I still see them buy J's? People will spend money on what they want to. So it's all about making them believe that this is what they need this service.
So I like how I heard it like this. People don't pay for what they can afford. They pay what they consider to be more valuable and the money in their pockets. So our job as creatives is to create content
Yeah.
to build up the preconceived value in people's minds so that they would want to spend money on that. Because if you were to build up the preconceived value, it doesn't matter if they have the money or not. If they don't have the money, they'll go borrow the money, they'll go steal the money, they'll figure out a way to conjure up the money to buy into your services because they really want what you got, what you're providing, right? So that's the question: are you creating content to build that preconceived value, right? I don't know how many people I know that have jewelry that's like actual golden necklaces, Jordans, right? They have the new everything,
Just
but
bought a
then
new car
but then
and-
they're broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like their bank account is like they barely have anything.
They're
up in there.
living on their mom's couch.
They're living outside the means. Their
Yeah,
means,
so it's just
right.
like-
So it's because they what you said, Gucci bag. They consider that to be more valuable. They can't afford it, but they really want it because it makes them feel some type of way, right? So putting a lot of emphasis on that, creating that content that builds up the preconceived value, and people wear your service. Do they feel like luxurious? What type of brand? There's so many words that we're throwing out. Is like I want to like kind of go off.
Break
You're talking
it
about
down on all
branding.
yeah.
You're talking about
The service that you provide, the feeling that you give them.
there's so much. There's so much I could say to all of that.
Yeah, like you said, making them feel like they want to spend money on your service, because I know we spoke about like people who would drop their last dollars on looking luxurious on, as far as like the Jordans that they buy, the Gucci bags, all of this and that. But how I market my service, how I am able to still stay booked even though inflation is bad, is I'm not only just doing lashes, I'm also providing a service, right? When people come, it's therapy, and it's therapy for them. They're able, it's therapeutic. So it's not just about like lash extensions. It's about I need to go see Nate. Like I need to tell her about what happened. I need to tell her, because she gives good advice. She gives this. She makes me feel comfortable and all this and that. And I don't just do that just to simply because it's my job, but I do it because I actually do genuinely care about people that I service. Right. So it's about making them feel like this is, that your money's well spent.
Look at your business as relational and not transactional. Right. And I remember I had a client, she came to me religiously, like once or twice a month, and she was spending a lot of money. Right. And one time I was asking her, because I knew her husband before I knew her, I'm asking about how so-and-so, how's he doing? I know that he was in hospital, this and that. And, I actually remember the conversations you had prior to the next visit. Right. And so I was asking her about that, and she was telling me about it, and she said that they're going through something. Right. They had a big argument not too long ago, and I'm like, oh, what happened? Everything good? She's like, it was a financial matter. We kind of struggling lightweight with that, and we kind of got into an argument about it. And I stopped tattooing. I was like, sis, you're coming to me like twice a month, bro, and you're dropping dollars like a lot. I was like, I appreciate the love. I care for you. I care for you and old boy. Yeah. Like it's all love at the end of the day, but maybe you should slow it down some. You know what I mean? Like, her response to that was, Caleb, I appreciate it, but this is me. This is me time. This is me taking care of me.
Yeah.
Right. This is the like I'm always working this and that. So like my point is, again, care more about your people than you do about the money. Right. And the money it's a byproduct of you just, again, killing it with your services that you provide, killing it with the environment, and actually really, I guess, caring what you said, caring about the client, taking care of them.
Yeah. Making sure that you're listening, you're giving them good advice. And some people book services sometimes just to be heard, because sometimes they don't have that outside of the service that we provide. So it's more than just lash extensions. It's more than just a tattoo.
Yeah, don't be messy too, bro. I mean, like when somebody tells you something in your chair, what I say, what's said in my chair stays in the chair, homie. I remember I was dealing with this couple, and I was tattooing the husband and the wife, and they're going through a marital and stuff like that. And it'd be messy of me to like tell old girl what old boy was saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what you said, it's like we're therapists at the end of the day. So we got to be, what's the word? It starts with a C.
Confidential.
Confidential. There you go. keep the confidentiality,
Yeah.
right? Because they're trusting you with this information. They're being vulnerable.
Yeah.
They're with you for a couple hours, right? So like, don't be messy, bro.
Keep me out the mess. Like I don't do drama. I don't do drama. But
Another big problem that I see is people deal with the imposter syndrome, right? And feeling like they're not equipped for it. They feel like they're not ready. And I would submit that you're never going to be ready, right? You learn more from actually doing the do than reading about it, watching videos, educational videos, hearing other people talk about how to go about doing it. There's things that I've learned when I stepped into the game that I would have never learned if I were to be an outsider looking in. Right. So you have to be in the fire to be refined. The Bible talks about God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called. And when I stepped into owning my own shop, I didn't feel equipped to even do it.
yeah.
Right. But as I went through it and taking my L's, John Maxwell talks about failing forward. Right. Because we don't take L's as losses, but we take it as lessons and documenting what you learned in that. Right. Because whenever I run through something, I always journal it. I say, okay, what happened? What do I want to happen moving forward? Or what's the lesson I learned from that? And I make sure I don't step in that again.
Yeah.
Right. And then always educating myself on what other successful people have done in that type of situation, or the people that have fruits and evidence within the space that I'm in right now. Right. Because what I told my son Caleb, which is a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise person learns from other people's mistakes.
That's good.
All right. So this is something I prayed at the prayer over Modesto, and I had the opportunity to pray over businesses, entrepreneurship, over all of the city of Modesto. And it goes, first I kickstarted with, Billy Graham said the next great move of God will be in the marketplace. And we can see that coming into fruition. So today I pray for business. I decree your word, Jesus, when you said, I must be about my Father's business. And I say it like this, we must be about our Father's business. Lord, give us the wisdom and the courage to do the things you have put us on earth to do, to use the gifts you've given us in a way that pleases you and serves the people we are here to serve. So from the north, south, east, and the west, young and old, whether they are thinking about starting a business, already started, or have been in the game for a while, I pray for those individuals, God, those entrepreneurs. Lord, in your word, the first thing you tell us about you is that in the beginning, you created. So therefore, you breathing your spirit into us and us being made in your image and likeness, we are creatives. So I acknowledge what you are doing in the marketplace. I acknowledge what you are doing in the heart of the entrepreneur. So I pray for divine and interventions, resources. I pray for provision for the vision. I pray that those kingdom builders, those creators, that they put you first within everything that they build, and also that they steward their business, their time, their employees, their resources, and the finances that are accumulated throughout. Increase their lead conversions, increase the revenues, increase their influence. May they receive a great return on their investments. Lead and guide them. Holy Spirit, give them discernment upon their decision making. Your word says that there are many plans in a man's heart, but it is your plans that prevails. And all that we do, God, may we speak, provoke, and manifest success, succession, inheritance, legacy, and servitude with the spirit of excellence. We'll give you all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.